Welcome back to Earth and Goal. Now we're going to go to the prima donnas of the league, the wide receivers. Brian, lead us off.
All right, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about for this category. Number 1, Chad Johnson. Number 2, Randy Moss. Number 3, Larry Fitzgerald. Number 4, Marvin Harrison. And number 5, you might think of him as a special teamer, but he is a wide receiver, Devin Hester. Now let's go over to Ryan and see what he has to say.
I'm speechless right now. I'll try to get through this. Okay, my list. Randy Moss, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Terrell Owens, and Chad Johnson. What were you thinking, Brian?
You have Randy Moss at number 1.
Look, Randy Moss, if he had the work ethic Jerry Rice had, he would have broken Rice's records before he left Minnesota. He is clearly the most talented receiver to ever play.
I had him at number 2. I'll grant you the fact that he is good. I had Chad Johnson at number 1 though.
It's just,
what'd you have him at 5? You had him all the way in the bottom?
There's something. I can't tell you what it is. As I watch him play, I think he's great.
He
is.
I
just can't put him up on that T.O. level.
T.O., if you're going to say Randy Moss with the attitude, I got to say T.O. has a much worse attitude.
He does. It's not attitude that Chad Johnson.
He's on a good team. He can get a lot of catches. You know, he's in the right place, but I just don't think he's at that top level to put him in my top 5.
I have to disagree. And like I said, I look at it over the history of years. He has been everywhere he's been, even in Philadelphia where he screwed himself over from a championship. He was phenomenal, and so I have
to
put
had his
T.O. at
moments.
number 4. I'm not looking at the attitude. You know, Chad Johnson's attitude I have no problem with whatsoever. There's something about his play where if I can't put him over T.O., I can't put him over.
Well, for the other 2 guys, you had Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne. I had Larry Fitzgerald and Marvin Harrison.
Look, Harrison's a
threat.
Harrison's great.
Every time he walks on the field, he is one of the biggest threats you'll see.
Definitely, but this is the big but that stood out in my mind when I was looking at the 2. Because I figured one of them has to be there.
Definitely.
They're either Reggie Wayne or Marvin Harrison.
The Indianapolis Colts receiving core.
Harrison got so ridiculously hurt. I think he's just at the end of his
career. I will say injuries maybe, but I mean, I still think he's the bigger threat. Reggie Wayne's definitely a good player. Yeah. It's very debatable.
Yeah,
one debate we have, Torrey Holt, you have, Larry Fitzgerald, I have.
Look, Fitzgerald, I thought about it. He's too up and down. Some year, 2 years he's gone to the Pro Bowl. 2 years he's had 100-plus catches.
I think the team of Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden together, if they could share a spot,
if there were enough balls to give both of them, that would be phenomenal. But Torrey Holt played longer, and as I'm looking at it, lowest stat year receiving, 788 yards rookie year. Since then, and he has not caught under 11. He has not caught. Let me see here. Under 81 catches.
That's good.
And had less than 1,180 yards.
Well, we can't argue that he is a good player, but one thing I did see you scour at earlier, I have Devin Hester on my list. Some call him a special teamer. He is a wide receiver, and he has some touchdown catches. You can't deny that he is a threat.
First and foremost, he is a cornerback transitioning to wide receiver.
Still on the list for me.
Yeah, he is a humongous threat, but he has not refined himself as a wide receiver nearly enough for me to consider him good enough, let alone had the longevity as a receiver.
Maybe not yet.
But he's going to have the.
He will.
He has the opportunity to be great with the Bears letting go of both Bernard Marion and Musa Muhammad. And it's not like they have anyone better as a threat. As much as I like Brandon Lloyd, but Brandon Lloyd. But Devin Hester is much better than Brandon Lloyd. But
fair enough. I think them going up against the defensive players we talk about soon, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We will see when we come back.